Gooning. It's this generation, it's normalized, and it's still wrong, you know. I think more people do it than they're afraid to admit. And to be completely honest with you, they shouldn't do it at all, you know. Nobody should do it at all, because it's bad. By the way, if anyone's wondering what I'm drinking, I got a Dr. Pepper. Well, I got drink pink lemonade, and then I didn't rinse it out, and I put Dr. Pepper cream soda in here, and then drank that, and it has a little bit of the Dr. Pepper in it. It's real good. Anyways, I'm not hanging out with Tyler today, so I felt that maybe it would be a good idea to just talk, you know what I mean, and film it, you know. I might have a little workout after, I don't know, but I guess, I know I was thinking of topics and stuff like that, and it went to Gooning, and I just want to talk about that because I think that just the benefits to con ratio is just insane, and you have to find happiness in other things. I feel like it's an escape, and it, let's get the point across that it's not just that. That's just one branch of what people use to escape their problems. I say it because it's probably the most normalized thing, because you don't need to buy anything, or it's free, you know what I mean? So it's so accessible. Almost everybody does it, but the truth is, this is just goes with everything, when it comes to addictions, and I think that no matter what, there's always going to be an addiction or something that blockades you in your life that you can cut out. And what I mean is there's always something that can be shaved off, that can be cut out from your life, that is beneficial. Nobody's perfect, you know what I mean? So it doesn't just go for Gooning, but we'll talk about that, It's very saddening. I think that a lot of people do it, and they stay where they are because their brain doesn't know the difference, you know what I mean? So they don't move forward at all. And I'm starting to realize, I think it's very immature, I'm trying not to do it anymore. It's been about, I think, going on 3 weeks. Feel good, just good about myself and who I am, and it's just a journey, you know what I mean? And in doing so, you kind of figure out that you need to find more important things to do, and you start to realize that almost anything is more important than that, you know what I mean? You start to figure out that there's all these other things that you can do. So it's very interesting what you can find out after cutting something that you don't need, but you still do it anyways, right? And just having other things to do is just so good. People call it distractions, if you want to quit an addiction, you need to do something else to replace that thing. But I don't like to think about it like you're replacing it from going back. It's more you're cutting out this thing And in doing so, you have more time now. And you have more time to do things. And I also think it clears your mind a lot, you know what I mean? Once it's not a priority anymore, or like a thought in your head, and you know that you're not going to, then it makes it so much easier just to think clearly, you know? So I think that's important too. And there's also the other side of things, which is religion, obviously, right? It's obviously, it's a sin. Lust is a sin. I believe it's, they're called different things in different religions, but it's a thing that you don't want to do in pretty much every religion. It's just known, as a bad thing, right? So, if you're religious, obviously getting closer to whoever you believe in is important, right? Having a sense of being closer to whatever God you think is, and if you don't believe in God, then getting closer to who you are. And that's kind of what it's all about. And even if you are religious and you believe in a God or gods, you still find that you are closer to yourself in doing so. But so I think that those things are related to that. Another great example would be, or reason, is that you don't objectify people. And I think that's very important, because people are so complex, and kind of putting them in one box is just a terrible thing to do. It's almost like psychotic to think of somebody as a one side resource, like they're a resource and they're not an actual person you want to connect with, you know what I mean? So I think that's just as important, that might be the most important thing too. I mean, it's obviously different in other people's cases, but I would say so. Even if you don't think of that in that sort of way, you don't think that I'm objectifying people. You are. You just don't know it until it's gone. You know what I mean? You might think that you aren't that type of person, but that's the reason why you still do it. You know what I mean? And that's the reason why you don't even know those people that you're, doing that to. So just the matter of fact that you're doing it shows that you do think of people in a one-sided thing. And it's truly sad, because it's the most accessible drug, or dopamine rush addiction in the world, really, I think, in my opinion. And because of that, it's so accessible and free, people do it at such a young age. And I don't know everything about psychology, but what I do know is how hard it is to cut developmental traits and habits from a young age. Having deep-rooted things, if you were shown those things, or you had access to those things at such a young age, and you therefore watched it or whatever, it becomes a part of how your mind is developing. And I do believe that it can alter, maybe permanently even. I'm not sure, but I mean, I would guess that it could permanently, put a scar in your brain as you get, your brain doesn't stop developing until it's, I believe now 26, and it seems like every, paper, it gets older and older. Every single research, the brain starts developing at an older age. So it's pretty much what I think about it. I don't think it's very good at all, And another thing is having control of yourself. And again, this can go for a lot of things, but if you can have something that is that deep rooted and then cut it out of your life, have a sense of self-control and stuff like that. And that's very important, because I feel like in nowadays, I think the thing with like people that are overweight, or people that are addicted to drugs, isn't the fact that they don't know it, because they do know it's bad, but it's the fact that their brain can't tell them no. They don't have enough discipline. It's the same thing with working out too, making the decision, do you want to work out that day? You can work out anywhere you go. You know what I mean? It's just a decision. If you're in the car, maybe not, but if you're in your Airbnb, you can do some push-ups or calisthenics, right? You can find something. There's probably a gym somewhere in that hotel, You're making up excuses to prolong that thing. And if you look at something like, I'm going to do it tomorrow, it'll never happen. That's the truth. So, that's what I feel about it. And I feel that, it's not good. Overall, it's not good, I was just wondering, comment, what you guys would want me to talk about, or like for me to talk about. I'm not Jesus. I'm not a God. I don't know everything. Actually, I feel like I know less than the average person, you know what I mean? But I'm honest, right? And I try to be my most honest self. So ask me a question or even a problem that you guys have. I would love to help, or do whatever I can. Not even help. Just, if I could just make you think about that thing too while you watch it, that's enough. I like reasons to record, you know what I mean? So I like that. Sorry if my voice is kind of sounding like shivery. It's kind of getting chilly now, so I sound like I'm like, it's like I don't know if you can see on camera, I'm like shaking a little bit, but that's pretty much it. So like and subscribe, comment down below any problems or topics that you guys would want me to talk about.